I am Mark, and this is By Divine Design. Welcome. All you have to do during this divine transmission is to relax and receive. Just be open, be aware of what you're feeling and sensing in your body, and let the transmission do all the work for you. Today's transmission is all about taking the next step. Whatever that is for you in your life, taking the next step. The next little step, the next big step, the next thing in your life. This transmission will support and will also clear away everything that's been blocking your next step or getting in the way or making it require more effort, not allowing it to have the full flow, the full enjoyment, all the synchronicities that could be happening. So we'll clear away those blockages, the karma, the imprinting, the conditioning, the influences, as well as open the way for your next step on the spiritual path, on the creative path, on the path of your becoming even more human and more aware of your divinity. Whatever you see as your mission, your purpose, as your next step, will find support from this transmission. So relax, settle in as we begin to open to the love, the light, the truth that is here, now, flowing into your system. This descending divine force now flowing into your system, opening your system, balancing your system, as if coming from far above you, from the divine source, down into the crown of your energy system, your crown chakra, down through all the other chakras, spreading underneath you and rising around you, every side of you, creating a cocoon of light around you as some of the divine force moves through you all the way down into the center of the earth, anchoring your energy to your humanity, to this planet, to this time-space dimension, to this virtual reality, and to all the others here playing along with you. Allowing this energy to open your energy system, open, expand, open. As more descending divine force comes in, opening, expanding, balancing, balancing the crown chakra, balancing balancing the third eye chakra. Balancing. Balancing the throat chakra. Expanding, expanding, especially to the rear, to the space behind your neck. Expanding, balancing. Opening and balancing the heart chakra. Expanding, expanding, expanding. And the solar plexus chakra. Balance. The second chakra, the sacral. Open, balance. And the first chakra. And now the ascending divine force is also amplifying, as if coming from the center of the earth up to your root chakra, up through your central energy core, spreading like a fountain in 360 degrees all around you to form a second light body cocoon around you, while part of it also continues up to the divine source. So you have the descending divine force and the ascending divine force both flowing down through you, up through you, all around you, in both directions, creating two cocoons of light all around you, which are now harmonizing, finding a greater coherence, finding an increased and accelerated flow, which brings in more clarity, more balance, more clarity, more balance. Just experience this activation of your light body cocoon. Feel into that greater stillness and greater flow at the same time. A flow that's ever more refined. And allow this to continue to open and refine your whole energy system. There's so much light accelerating through, so much divine information that many blockages are just dissolving on their own as your system purifies, as your vibration is raised. Clear, 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 clear. So the first blockage that's coming to our attention is just below the throat chakra. It's related to divine expression, speaking your truth, but also expressing your truth in ways even beyond the voice. So, okay, it's connected to resistance in your second chakra, which is also about divine expression. Clear, clear, clear. And fear in the first chakra, fear about your identity, your existence here in a body. Fear, 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 clear. If you express yourself, so these are all related to the main blockage just below your throat chakra, but this fear of losing your life if you express yourself in either the two ways. The second chakra, which would be more sexual expression and an expression of yourself like through the family identity, but it can also be artistic. Yeah, so fear of losing your life in relation to expressing yourself. Just clearing that out of the first chakra, there's a lot of fear. Fear, 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 fear. Kind of goes in 360 degrees all around the first chakra. So this actually connects to the collective unconscious. It's like to some degree everyone has this fear, this level of fear of losing their life if they express their authentic self, especially their divine self, their divine beingness. So clearing it for everyone watching and listening, but this is also clearing it for literally every human on the planet as we go into this with divine light, divine love, divine truth, just transmitting to the core of this fear. Clear, clear, clear. So now we're seeing the past life influences related to this fear, where this theme of fear of expressing yourself played out. Let's go back to the very first powerful example of this. So we're actually diving deeper into how this is stuck in your energy system now, but we do it by the metaphor of looking at the past lives where this energy originally came from. But we're finding it in the now and releasing it in the now as I drill down into it. It's pretty thick. Just finding a way in, finding each crack and opening, crack, opening, crack, opening. Clear, 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 clear. So in this case, the past life that being shown, it's kind of a classic Catholic saint kind of lifetime where this young woman, 17 maybe, is in a convent studying to be a nun, but she's having these really, really deep spiritual experiences. And some of the other nuns are jealous of her. A lot of them have never, well, pretty much none of them had ever had experiences as deep and as bewildering. Yeah, so she learned to hide it. She started trying her best to hide both the outward expression of these experiences, meaning the physical bodily movements and whatnot, the tears, the deep crying, the deep tears as she was going through like a dark night of the soul, the epiphanies. There was a priest or a monk priest that was her spiritual advisor. He had some experience with these kinds of things. He was the one prompting her to kind of hold it in secret as much as possible. But it was hard to do in that atmosphere, in that small convent that she was living in. So at some point, she cracked. The strain and stress of having these really, really deep beatific experiences, these ecstasies of divine love, of being with her divine beloved, and then coming back to a world where she felt so hated and despised and shamed by those around her. The sensitivity of her soul just couldn't take that differential, and she cracked. She just cracked. Her psyche cracked. Now, on the soul level, the soul had orchestrated all of this. The soul wanted this experience because the soul knew it would be a lifetime of developing an intensely deep compassion, an intensely deep understanding of others and of the spiritual journey. But in this particular lifetime, she developed a hatred of others. She began to despise and hate the others around her the way she felt they were despising and hating her, and it just got worse and worse and worse, and it squeezed out the spiritual experiences until she just took on this blackness, this density, this intensity of hating everyone for ruining what her experience was, and taking away her authentic expression, her ability to have her own authentic expression. So we're going to clear this. Well, first of all, bringing in love, light, and truth. Love, light, and truth. Clear. Clear. There's a lot here. There's all these connections to the other nuns and to that priest. So we're cutting all those connections. Essentially bringing in forgiveness and bringing in a higher understanding that this was all planned out in advance before birth, that each person in this scenario would play these roles and have the experiences, the corresponding experiences that went with those roles as a way of developing their own storyline. Continuing to bring light and love, truth to this whole scenario. And each one of your metaphors, each one of your past lives, I mean, if you're listening, you have a past life that's very, very centrally, thematically related to this. So we're just using it to give you an understanding of the kind of dynamic that was playing out here in you and is still stuck in your energy system until we clear it out completely here. Continuing to unravel it, continuing to unravel with love, light, and truth. Okay, this has been pushing your energy far off to your right side, this blockage in your energy system, so that the energy that wants to just come straight up through your energy system has been diverted and or blocked from this past life influence. And as we resolve it and dissolve it, it can move more into your central core to be washed by the ascending divine force and the descending divine force. There we go. And we're going to use some light tones to help complete and update the programming, the understanding. Now this theme, the theme of that past life was played out in many, many variations across many other past lives, and we're just going to clear all those influences as well. Okay, and now we can expand the energy system out further and fill it with more light from divine source above and from the immanent divine force from below. Accelerating the spin on your light body cocoons, expanding out even more, expanding the energy system, integrating this deeper, higher understanding. Now we just scan the energy system again to see what we see at this layer and level of being. Okay, there's still a blockage at the second chakra related to sexual expression. But it's more than sexual, it's spiritual expression, what we could call familial expression, and sexual identity and sexual expression. So it's related to your relationship to the divine, your relationship to God or all that is. Including any personified version of God you may experience. We're just tweaking it, opening it where we can until it releases more information. Okay, now it's beginning to open up. So it's kind of related to the last past life. This is another past life. Yeah, it's a clash between your experience of your personal sexuality and your spiritual practice, your spiritual experiences. And there was a lot of crossover. There was a lot of, well, this time it's a man in spiritual life um, some kind of monk. Yeah, where celibacy was considered the norm or the standard for a monk in this spiritual community that you were in. But as this monk, you kept having sexual orgasmic experiences. Yeah. During your spiritual meditations. Yeah. This energy kept coming up, and again, it was a situation where the majority around you didn't understand, didn't think that was right or good. But your experience was that this was just the best thing ever. Like, in your own authentic, intimate experience, you had no doubts that this was just the beauty of God running through you. And even though it created these sexual experiences, it was like, to you, how could it not? It's infusing every cell of your body. It's running through every system in your body. Of course, it's going to include, not exclude, the sexual. So for you, it was just, this is the best thing ever, the most holy, the most intimate, the most delightful, the most humbling. And yet those around you were criticizing you for it, were shaming you for it, were condemning you for it. It looks like your master, they weren't called gurus in that lifetime, but whatever, your spiritual teacher in that lifetime, in that community, understood what was going on. He didn't condemn you for that part of the experience, but he didn't protect you either. He didn't protect you from the others' recriminations, because he knew there was a humbling lesson in that for you that you needed to experience in that lifetime. But you didn't fully understand that at the time. So we're just unraveling it all here, unraveling it in love, light, and truth. Love, light, and truth. Unraveling, bringing in this higher understanding. Again, everyone was just playing out their parts in order to have these various experiences that we all wanted to have through these various incarnations. We wanted to know what it was like to be separate and apart and struggling, because of the ways that can deepen love and deepen compassion and deepen the joy of reunion when we come back from that separation, when we come out of that suffering. Okay. Clear, clear, clear. Clear, clear, clear. Clear, clear. Forgiving all involved. Clear, 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 clear. Opening to the perfection of this lifetime and every lifetime, no matter what was experienced. Clear, 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 clear. and opening this healing now out to the universal, out to every soul that's ever had any similar kind of experiences where their sexuality and their spirituality appeared to be at odds with one another, or their experience of their sexuality and their spirituality were so unified and so one, and yet so unaccepted by those around them. So there was this big differential, this big misunderstanding. Okay. Yeah, we're going into a deeper level of that right now. Just bringing that light, love, and truth into a deeper level now. And continuing to clear this for anyone else, any other souls that ever had these kind of experiences. So part of the information that's coming in is in the past, when as humanity was at a lower vibration, there was a requirement to kind of shunt off the sexual in order to reach higher into the spiritual. So those kind of practices had their time and place. But for us here today, at the level of vibration that humanity's at already now and what we're quickly rising into, those kind of dichotomies are no longer needed. Our expression now is to be one of wholeness, of all levels and layers of our being, including all of our humanness and all of our divinity. So the vibration that we're rising into now is about reunifying all layers and levels of our being and seeing all of it as part of the divine experience, the divine expression of being, of our true beingness, our authentic true beingness, including the sexual. Within the spiritual, as part of the spiritual, as a fuel for the spiritual, as a base. Okay, and now we finally come back to the original blockage at the throat chakra, or just below the throat chakra. And we can now go deeper into that blockage. This blockage of being able to express yourself in the world, to express yourself like in the business world, in your family, with your friends, to yourself, the ability to express yourself authentically and honestly to yourself. That's being supported right now. We're bringing in. Yes, that's being emphasized. This self-honesty, self-expression, honest self-expression, the ability to be honest with yourself about who and what you are, about what your experiences are and have been. Like, there's been so much conditioning. I mean, we all have had so much conditioning telling us who we're supposed to be, what we're supposed to feel, what we're supposed to believe, what we're supposed to express. But we're at the cusp of leaving that all behind, rising to a vibration where even as little children, we're encouraged to be expressive of our true, authentic self, to first to feel it, to know it, and then to be it without shame, without embarrassment, without holding back. And this is opening in each one of us right now, opening more than it's ever been opened before. This ability to know ourselves, to feel ourselves, our own feelings, our own experiences, our own knowings, even when it seems to be a total variance to the wider culture or to the person you're speaking to at that moment, or what you've read in books or seen on TV. It's like allowing the internal knowing to be of first importance, really to be the only importance. So rather than tracking and being aware and being afraid of whatever the world outside of you is telling you is true or appropriate about your experience, your expression, your feelings, your knowings, you're being invited to come into your core and know the truth of yourself, the truth of your own being, to dare to allow yourself to feel that, to know that, to experience that, and then let that express out. Let that express out. Let that radiate out. Let that transmit out. Let that resonate with that place of truth in every other soul on the planet and beyond. Being a lighthouse of your authentic truth, your authentic being. So there's massive amounts of support for this right now. Pouring in, the descending divine force is just pouring in massive support for you knowing, feeling, experiencing your own being, your own divine and human beingness, and then expressing that to yourself, expressing it to those around you, expressing it in the world in the form of businesses, artwork, music, writing, conversations. And it doesn't have to be expressed in words. It can just be a silent radiance. Most of us are frequency holders anyhow. We've spent a good deal of our lives just sending out the higher vibrations silently to others as we go about our days. Divine, human, authentic expression. We're just going to sit here in silence for a few minutes as this continues to build and grow and radiate through our beings. And now it's like the higher octave of this is descending into your energy field. A higher octave that's also of a higher coherence to help seal this in and to illuminate your next steps. So the image right now is each of us as a lighthouse with the light centered in our heart chakra, sweeping around 360 degrees, transmitting your authentic truth, your authentic divine human beingness, resonating out, transmitting out to all the other lighthouses, to all the other souls, to all other divine human beings. Sharing this information with one another of who and what we are and how we can best play with one another, best support one another, best extend one another. And this whole network of lights, of radiating lighthouses, the whole network is being raised in vibration now. Strengthened, raised in vibration, so that everyone gets a taste of where we're going with this, where all this is heading. Raising the vibration more now. Allow yourself to have a vision of you and your next steps within the context of this larger set of infinite connections. Feel how you are supporting everyone else's next steps as everyone else is supporting your next steps. Every divine being supports every other divine being. And all these infinite connections between us. As it infuses this light, this divine information into every cell of every being's body, of your body. Lifting your vibration even more now. Giving you a clear reference point of the kind of harmony and clarity you can live from moment to moment, day by day, night by night. It's a process. It'll take a bit of time to unfold to where it's your moment by moment experience, but this is where you're heading to. This is where we all are heading. And in this clear light, you may ask your divine self any questions you may have about your next steps as we continue to hold this space. And if you wish to stay in this space for a while longer, you can simply ignore what I'm about to say and let yourself continue to experience this space. But for those who wish to come back, we're pulling your energy back into your energy system, pulling your consciousness back into your human body. Helping to seat this into your bodily being, anchoring it into each of your chakras. Sealing your energy system with golden light. This divine transmission is now complete. Thank you for your participation, your service, your courage to explore your true, authentic self. Blessings.